When you hear the word orthodontics, what's the first thing you picture? I bet it's braces, right? Maybe some retainers. But today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a hidden world that's way more complex, and honestly, a lot more interesting than most people think.
I mean, this is the common thinking, isn't it? You see a kid with crowded teeth and the first thought is, yep, time for braces. Or an adult wants a picture-perfect smile. And again, orthodontics is the answer. It feels like a pretty simple cosmetic fix for a cosmetic problem.
But what if that's just scratching the surface? What if crooked teeth aren't the actual problem, but a symptom, a clue that points to something much, much bigger going on with our health? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into.
To really understand what's happening, modern orthodontists are starting from a totally different place. They're not just looking at your smile anymore. No, they're doing this incredible diagnostic deep dive, using some amazing technology to see what's always been invisible.
And it all kicks off with a 3D scan. Forget about those old-school goopy impressions you might remember. This tech creates a super detailed digital map of a patient's entire head. It lets them see so much more than just teeth, so let's break down what it can actually show us. For starters, they can see the entire foundation, not just the part of the tooth you see when you smile, but the exact shape and position of every single root buried deep down in your jaw. So, why does that matter? Well, it's absolutely crucial for planning how to move teeth safely and effectively.
They can also see the density of the jawbone itself, to answer that critical question, is this bone strong enough to handle treatment? Or, if we move this tooth, are we risking pushing it right out of its home in the bone?
And this is just wild. The scan can show bite forces, and it visualizes them like a weather pattern on a map. The bright red areas are like little storms, showing exactly where a patient is clenching or grinding their teeth. It reveals all this hidden stress that we could never see before. But here it is, the absolute game changer. The single most important thing these scans reveal is the volume of a person's airway. That's right, the actual space you have in your throat to breathe. And this one discovery is pushing the entire field of orthodontics into a whole new territory. So, this is where it all starts to click. The connection between how we breathe and how our jaws and teeth actually grow is massive, but for decades it was pretty much completely ignored.
Okay, get ready for this number. In one practice, they looked at how many kids coming in for a consultation showed signs of having a compromised airway. What do you think, 10%? 20? Nope, it was closer to 75%, 3 out of every 4 kids. This is not some rare issue, it's everywhere. So how in the world does breathing affect your teeth? Well, it all comes down to one thing, your tongue. See, when you breathe the right way, through your nose, your tongue naturally rests up against the roof of your mouth. And that gentle, constant pressure works like your body's own built-in palate expander, helping the upper jaw grow nice and wide.
But if a kid can't breathe through their nose, maybe because of allergies or big tonsils and adenoids, a whole cascade of problems starts. First, they switch to breathing through their mouth. And to do that, the tongue has to drop down from the roof of the mouth. Without that support, the upper jaw starts to grow narrow. And what happens in a narrow jaw? There's just not enough room for the adult teeth. And that's where you get crowding and crossbites. And that's the key takeaway here, that one simple shift from nose breathing to mouth breathing can literally change the way a child's face grows. It's not just about teeth anymore. We're talking about their whole development. It's a cascade, and it really can change everything.
So, this new understanding has pretty much sparked a revolution in how orthodontics is done. Instead of just reacting to the symptoms, the crooked teeth, the goal now is to find and treat the root cause, and to do it as early as possible.
Just look at the difference here. The old way was to wait, right? Wait until the kid's a teenager, all their adult teeth are in, and then just react to the crowding, often by pulling teeth to make space. The new way? Screen kids around age 7, find those root causes like airway problems, and then proactively guide the jaw's growth to make room for all the teeth naturally. It's a complete shift from reactive to proactive. The whole point of this early treatment is to go with the grain of a child's growth, not against it. You address the source of the problem, you help the jaws develop to their full genetic potential, and you often prevent the need for much more intense treatments later on, like pulling teeth or even jaw surgery. At the end of the day, all this means we really need to rethink what orthodontics is all about. It's not just a cosmetic tweak, it's foundational healthcare. Think about it. A properly developed jaw doesn't just give you a great smile. It supports a wide open airway, and that affects everything: how well you sleep, your energy during the day, your overall health. The bite and the airway, they're the building blocks for well-being, and they are completely connected.
And here's the final proof. You can spend years of your life and thousands of dollars getting your teeth perfectly straight, but if you never fix the underlying airway problem, that mouth breathing, that low tongue posture, the same forces that made your teeth crooked in the first place are just going to push them out of line all over again. If you're not breathing right, the problem comes right back.
So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you see a smile, whether it's perfectly straight or a little bit crowded, what are you going to see? Will you just see teeth? Or will you see the result of a whole hidden story? A story about growth, about breathing, and the powerful connection between them.